It's lovely to connect with you today. My name is Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to create a space of healing and support, which I trust and hope resonates with you. So I'll be here for about 15 to 20 minutes, and my plan is that I'm going to pull a healing energy card. I've got my combined deck of healing energy cards 1, the original, and healing energy cards 2, my brand new deck. I've combined those, so I'm going to be looking for a card in just a moment for the majority of us. I'm not pulling cards for individuals. I do trust you've been led here for a reason, and I'll be pulling a card for the majority of us as a collective at this time. So I'll pull a card, I'm going to talk about that card. Who knows what the card's going to be? And then I'm going to play the singing bowl for a little bit. And then I'm going to pull a card to go. That's my plan. And what I'm going to talk about and what we're going to do as far as the theme, I suppose, is anyone's guest right now. Hello, Siobhan. Lovely to see you. And hello, everyone. Please say hello in the comments if you like. And I'll do my best to say hello back. So thanks for joining me today. Before we get started, I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, where it is, what day is it? Monday the 8th of May at exactly 5:56 p.m. Almost got 5:55, but we didn't. So welcome. Hi, Lynn. It's lovely to see you. I trust you're all feeling okay. The energy is interesting. It's been very interesting today. Lots of things not working very well. Lots of sort of frustrating energy around that I've heard and that I've experienced. And I noticed for me, I just had to get outside. I had to get outside and do some shoveling and digging and stuff. I just wanted to get physically active, which is not surprising. I've been feeling that way lately. So, and I was just like that for an hour or so, and then I had a little nap, and now here connecting. So it's been an interesting day. Right now the energy's quite high, so maybe you're feeling that. Thanks, Lynn. I'm doing really well. I trust you are. And hello, Susan. Susan's here from Jurien Bay, north of Perth. Oh, sounds beautiful there, Susan. I trust you've had a nice day. So I'm going to start by pulling the best card that the majority of us need right now. So if you're watching live or later to the replay, it won't matter. This still applies. So right now is when you're first connecting here, and the best card that the majority of us need right now is this card here. So it's from the first deck, Healing Energy Cards, deck 1, and it's this. Oh yes, I love this card, and I was just actually talking about it about 15 minutes ago. So card 33, the Rise of the Phoenix. Here we go. It's in the Rise category, of course. I think this is my favourite card in the deck. I mean, this excites me every time it comes up. It says, take everything to the next level, rebirth, new life, let go. Emerge as your, I've got energy moving here in the throat. Emerge as your real you. You create galaxies through your actions and intentions and expand. So rise of the phoenix. So rising up out of the ashes of our past, or the ashes of what's happened, and allowing ourselves to lift up and rise up out of it. So we could think of that like the phoenix. We may even think of that like the eagle, and the eagle flying up through the storm clouds and up to the calm, sunny area above the storm clouds. So rising up out of the ashes, out of the stormy parts of our life, out of the past, out of the heaviness, out of the frustrations, out of the stuff that's been holding us down, pinning us down, trapping us, holding us back. So if you're tired of rolling around in the ashes or rolling around in the mud and the muddy parts of your life, the energy coming through wants us to push up and push through, stand up, and really like push up like a rocket from that heavy stuff that you've been stuck in for long enough. It doesn't, unless it's a new thing, unless it's a brand new thing you're still coming to terms with and it's still quite emotional for you. If it's a very recent loss or event, for example, then this will most likely not apply to you. But if you've been feeling this way, if you've been feeling stuck and you're rolling around in the ashes and the mud for some time, and I mean, depending on the situation, maybe weeks, months, or years, if you've been still feeling that way, then it may be time now, you may be ready to shift out of that space, to find your feet again, to get up onto your feet, to brush off the ash, to wash off the mud that's been weighing you down, and stand up again. And sometimes that in itself is the rise. It is like the rocket taking off. It is like the phoenix rising from the ashes. So sometimes it's just about getting back up onto our feet. So if that's what you need, if that's all you've got the strength to do right now, then that is great. And if you have the strength to do that and more, maybe imagine yourself like the phoenix, or like you've got a rocket that's going, that's a light underneath you and it's pushing you up past those storm clouds and up through the clouds and up towards the sun or the moon or out into the night sky or wherever it is that you feel like you want to uplift yourself and take yourself. So if you just joined in, we have the phoenix here, the rise of the phoenix, and it wouldn't have come up if we weren't ready to rebirth and to rise up and to change. Maybe that's simply it, to change. So if it resonates with you what I'm talking about, please work with this energy. If it doesn't, or you're feeling something slightly different or a lot different, that's okay. You can roll with that, trust your intuition. So I'm going to play the singing bowl, the crystal singing bowl, for a few minutes. And I encourage you to use the high vibration of the bowl to pull you up. So it could be to pull you up to your feet, or up to your knees first and then up to your feet if you really feel heavy and weighed down and have for a while. To pull you up and to shake that mud or the ash from your body, to shake the heaviness that you've been coated in for long enough, and to rise up to your feet. And then if you want to, take that further, take that higher. Imagine you've got that rocket, or that you're riding that phoenix, or you are the phoenix and you're pushing up like a burst of flame, like a volcano going off, like a rocket pushing up above and rising and really pulling yourself up. So see what happens. So I'm going to play the singing bowl for a few minutes. There's nothing you can do wrong. Just listen and let the sound support your movement. It's up to you. So it's up to you to work with this energy if you feel it and if you want it. So I'm going to play this. Let's see what happens. So nice big breath. Oh, shouldn't have done that. I've just blown cat hair everywhere. I'll probably sneeze in a minute. Okay, nice big breath. And you know, you might be questioning your readiness. You know, oh, is this really for me? Am I really ready for this? I can guarantee that you are, because otherwise you wouldn't be here and you wouldn't be listening to this, and I wouldn't be talking about this stuff. So if you doubt your readiness, if you doubt in your abilities, if you doubt in yourself, don't listen to it. Don't let it suck away your power. You are here and you are listening because you are ready. Simple. Everything has lined up for this moment. So nice big breaths. Okay, thank you. See how you go with our card today, Rise of the Phoenix. I'm going to read this again. I find it so inspiring. Take everything to the next level. Rebirth, new life, let go. Emerge as your real you. You create galaxies through your actions and intentions and expand. So this is an uplifting. This is an energy that wants to pull you up and out of the mud, the ashes, the heavy parts of yourself and your life. So what can you do about those things moving forward from here? Are there changes that need to be made? Are there adjustments that you need to consider to make, perhaps with your priorities or your schedule or how you spend your time? Can you shift your way of thinking that's more supportive and uplifting for you, rather than a way of thinking that pulls you down or keeps you small or keeps you doubting in yourself? Can you uplift your thoughts? Can you uplift areas of your life that feel heavy and that feel like you're under some big weight or pressure right now? Sometimes we have pressure in life. I mean, this is normal. So sometimes we need to just get a bit more organised, or we need to delegate some chores, or we need to manage our time better, or reorganise our priorities and make sure we're sticking to our priority list. And I know for me, because I've got added responsibilities now with things that have shifted in the last couple of weeks, that I have to stick to my priorities, like to the letter kind of thing. And every week, or even every few days, like a couple of times a week, I'm checking to make sure I'm still on track with my priorities, because I can't afford, time is so precious, I can't afford things to be out of alignment with my priorities. I have to have them the way that I need them to be, so that I can stay on top of the things that I'm dealing with in my life. And this is just for a time period, it's not forever. But it is how it is now. So I think sometimes we need to work or see the pressure that we're under, and the pressure and the things that we do need to accomplish at certain times. And we need to adjust ourselves and really stay focused and stay attentive to those priorities that we work out. So I'm going to pull a card to go. Can you believe it? I've just started shuffling the cards and I've dropped the same card, Rise of the Phoenix. So anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to pull a card to go. Before I go, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for being notified. I guess you were notified, the 15 of you. That's fantastic. Out of nearly 600,000 followers. Thank you so much, Facebook. So I'm so glad that you're here, and I really trust something that shared has been helpful for you. If it has been, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment, please share if you're inspired to. And if you want to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you're watching on Facebook, please hit the follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. If you want to learn more about me and the work I do at Temple of Balance, if you want to grab yourself a deck or two of these cards and start working with them, or have a look on my website, I've got heaps of stuff on there that I've created, then please visit templeofbalance.com.au. Temple of Balance started over 18 years ago in 2005, in February 2005. So it's very exciting, and I've collected a lot and made a lot of resources over the years. So please check them out if you're interested. templeofbalance.com.au. So let's look for the best card to go. So I'm looking for the best card that the majority of us need as we move forward from here. So moving forward, what do we need to shift? What do we need to change? What do we need to focus on as we work with the energy of this Phoenix energy, this energy that wants to pull us up and out of the heavy parts of ourselves and our life? So what and how can we do that? That's the card I'm looking for. A practical card that will help us for the next 24-ish hours as we move forward from here. And the best card to support the majority of us is this. It's again from the deck 1. And it's this. Okay. We're still in the Rise theme. It's card 24, Spiral of Grace. And it's also in the Rise category. So we're still in that energy that wants to lift us up. So if we feel it, and hopefully we feel it, hopefully you feel it, hope you work with it when you feel it, because we're not always in this uplifting space. The energy that wants to lift us up is not always present. So I like to work with it when I feel it, and use it to my advantage, if you like. It's just like if the energy is very active and I'm feeling productive, I want to work with that when I feel it, because I might not be feeling productive tomorrow. But if I'm feeling productive now, I want to be productive. Like if I want to rest now, I might not want to rest tomorrow, but I do now. So I'm going to work with that energy of rest as best as I can around my schedule. So, work with it if you're feeling it. So we've got the Rise energy that's present. It's called Spiral of Grace, and it's not dissimilar to the Rise of the Phoenix in a lot of ways. I'll explain why in a second. It says lift out of your karmic patterns, your old wounds, and the past. Basically the stuff that weighs us down. Transform fear into love. Let the past go. Lighten your load. Release separation issues. I think one of the biggest issues that I've noticed in myself, and as I've worked with people for a long time now, is that a lot of the underlying issues that we have tend to be separation issues, and this separation that takes place inside us, and it can show up in all areas of our life as loved ones potentially pass away, or there's separation in relationships, separation from parent figures as well. And we can also, if you're open to it, if we are open to past lives and what happens beyond or before our physical body, separating from the Creator, separating from Spirit, separating from those that we've loved in past lives, separation issues can tend to run quite deep. So if you've got separation playing out, there's a couple of ways that you might know if it is playing out. One is that you might find that your body has aches or pains or injuries, strange things happening on one side of the body and not the other. So that's, like I keep injuring myself on the left side or the right side. That typically showing there's probably an underlying separation issue that's coming up or presenting itself. If we're feeling like a swing of emotion as we go from really happy to really sad, and we've got this swinging that's taking place and this push-pull within us like a conflict, we can feel split and separated and very alone when we're having separation issues playing out, and it can reflect out or ripple out into our relationships as well, and including friendships, so relationships with any person, close to distant, it doesn't matter, but a connection with other people can play out there. We could also have a fear of separation, so a fear of, say, relationship ending or being on our own. That can also play out. What else do I need to say? We can also feel ungrounded and very caught up in our lower head space. So thinking low thoughts about ourselves and things happening in our life. So they're quite strong signs that I've seen a lot of over the years that tend to symbolize or represent separation issues. So if that's something you want to look further into, then perhaps explore that in your journal and look at ways that you can resolve and bring yourself back together. Because ultimately, separation issues mean that you're at conflict with yourself. And you can have head fighting with the heart kind of thing. That's also a bit of a separation thing. So what I like to do when I felt that, and that was a long time ago, it was one of the first big healing things that I did for myself. It was such a big issue that seems to run deep with a lot of us, is look at that conflict and then look at how I could resolve that and find my balance. I mean, this is really how Temple of Balance started and found its name, is through that balance that I was looking for that was on the other side of my separation issues. So looking for balance and unity, because it helps resolve our separating relationships and connections as well. It's a really big, deep topic, but that may help if you are dealing with separation issues. But back to this card, this is about lifting out now of the wheel of karma and the heavy patterns and the rolling around in the mud, the rolling around in the ashes and the heavy energy. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I think it's past. Rolling around in that heavy energy that keeps us heavy and low and separated within ourselves, that conflict with ourselves, lifting off that path of things cycling around, things repeating themselves, and lifting out of that path and up into the spiral of grace, which is like an expanding path or an expanding spiral that journeys up and around, let's say. Whereas the wheel of karma is like a wheel and it just keeps spinning around and around. And there's not a lot of room in the wheel of karma, we could say, for growth or expansion, because it's just one thing after another. It's repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. And if there's a little notch, if we've got a little issue or a big issue, that will just keep being triggered every time we sort of move around this wheel of karma. So we find patterns repeating themselves. We find ourselves in similar situations over and over again with different people or different time, a different place, but it's the same issue. So lifting or resolving these things so that we can move up now off that path and break that pattern, break that mold, break that issue that we've been carrying for long enough, so that we can move and choose a higher path, we could say, a path perhaps that's more balanced. And I still feel like, for me personally, I strongly align with a practical, real, rational path, not airy-fairy. I might win the lotto one day, which to me is quite airy-fairy. I like my path to continue being practical as I move out of my issues personally and resolve those for myself. That helps me find peace with myself. And when I find peace with myself, then I can find peace with others. And I can find peace with my path. So I feel like right now is an opportunity for us to lift ourselves up out of the heavy parts of ourselves and our life that have been holding us back lately or for a long time now. That it's time now that we put these things aside and we figure out and look for a way to resolve and to re-motivate ourselves again. Because it is possible. If it wasn't possible, this all wouldn't be coming up right now, for one. And I feel like the energy is very favourable to support this. So if you feel you're ready, and you feel that the time has come, and you've maybe been asking for this over these last few days, and this is all synchronized for you, this is something that you've already been thinking about, then take this also as your sign to do something about it now. And what do you do? What can you do next? Maybe what I would do is I would be getting out my journal and I'd be writing down my issues and looking at them out of my head and down on paper and getting some perspective of them. I'll be looking at the things that I can resolve. What can I resolve here? What do I need to mend? What do I need to apologize for, perhaps? What do I need to take action with? What's been hovering and hanging that I'm not doing anything about? okay, let's get something happening on this thing. I'll be looking at all my issues and what can I do about them. If I can't do anything about them, do I need to close the door? Do I need to just stop worrying about that thing? Is there any need for me to be worrying about it? So I'd be looking at all those things from all different angles and trying to resolve my problems, because from there, then I can improve myself and I can take myself to the next level, which then my whole life follows and all my relationships follow that need to stay. So that's what I would do. So Spiral of Grace is our card as we move forward from here. If you have the Healing Energy cards, I'd also be probably grabbing that card from the deck and keeping it close by for a couple of days. Thanks so much for watching and connecting, and I trust this resonates with you in some way. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back to share with you again on Wednesday for the weekly guidance. Take care, and bye for now.